I'm sick. And although this wasn't the video that I was planning on sharing this week, I thought it would be fun to share what I do to try to maintain muscle mass, or maintain my health, my gains while I'm sick. Tuesday, I had kind of a weird training day. I felt really achy throughout the day, but I just thought I was sore from Monday. But I actually dialed back to like an RPE 7 or 8 for the day. Just get through the workout. That's fine. I did my podcast with Rick on Tuesday night. And then after that, I was a little bit chilly, and we're in the Outer Banks, and this is just not a place where you would be chilly for any reason. Didn't think much of it until I actually went to bed and I was freezing. I normally sleep in a bed with just barely a sheet on me, but I pulled the blanket over me and the comforter over me. I snuggled my wife because I was freezing, and I knew I was sick. And I knew that I wasn't training on Wednesday. I knew that that was going to be a lost day. I just knew it. Like, you have that sense like, this is for reals. I slept a lot. I slept until about 10 a.m. on Wednesday, and then on and off all day yesterday. Many 1 to 2 hour naps throughout the day. And then I slept 10 hours last night. And my watch let me know that I was 16% recovered this morning. Yesterday, 0% recovery. I've only had that happen 2 other times with the Whoop or using the Apple Watch with Athletic. 0% recovery means I'm sick. And if my body wasn't already telling me that, I could confirm that there. My HRV was significantly decreased. My resting heart rate was high, my respiratory rate was high, and my skin temperature quite high. So that's it. I'm sick. But I want to maintain my gains. I've got a competition in 2 weeks. The Whatappalooza qualifier is this weekend. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I'm actually doing a training camp on Saturday. I want to be better and be kind of back where I was in the next couple of days, fingers crossed. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to really focus on nutrition. Even yesterday when I'm just dead in bed, I'm going to try to maintain my caloric intake for the day. I generally take in about 3,000 calories a day. I did not hit that yesterday, but I gave it a solid effort. I didn't want to eat anything. I wasn't hungry. So in order to maintain some caloric intake yesterday, I had to prioritize and make sure I was getting in kind of the right macronutrients. What I really needed yesterday was protein. I need protein, carbs, and fats, but if I'm going to prioritize anything when I'm sick, I'm going to prioritize protein. So I did have a couple of large bowls of Greek yogurt. That's just an easy protein source for me. Towards the evening, I had a double scoop of a protein shake. So that's 50 grams of protein right there. I also had a big bowl of rice last night because I was starting to feel good enough to eat something solid. So I got some carbohydrates back in the system. It's not perfect, but it got some calories in. I would say that I was at about half of my daily caloric intake yesterday. Even though I was trying hard, probably was only hitting about 1,500 calories for the day. But that's okay. It's better than zero, way better than zero. And I was trying to get as much protein in as possible. I woke up this morning and I had a standard breakfast, and I will basically eat like standard today, even though I'll probably go straight to bed after this and take a nice long nap. I'm not recovered, but my body's feeling well enough to eat a bit more today. So I'll get back on track today with regards to 3,000 calories and having a nice split between proteins, carbs, and fats, kind of getting back to normal, ideally. On a day like yesterday, I'm also trying to get in a decent amount of micronutrients. And I can't get micronutrients in by eating. That's just, I'm not going to eat enough variety of foods yesterday to get in a good dose of micronutrients. So yesterday and the previous day, and since I've started this, I've been taking Smart Supplements by Blokes. This was something that I started about a month ago. Blokes reached out to me and I decided to work with them. So they did an initial blood test where they check the whole gamut of hormones, and every blood test I can imagine was taken. And then what they do is they provide a detailed analysis of what's going on in my blood and in my hormones. And at the same time, they provide a solution to that, or they'll provide supplements to help with those areas where you might be deficient based on your blood tests. And I let Blokes know that what was most important to me was to stay absolutely clean and clear. I am in a drug-free sport, and although they have solutions to help people with TRT and those types of things, I can't participate in any of that. So my custom supplement pack is very simple. We're talking a men's multivitamin, probiotics, vitamin B12, berberine extract, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, chromium, selenium, and turmeric. Very simple. With that men's multivitamin, I've got some micronutrients going into the system there. In fact, I haven't taken these yet today. Let's do it. If you're ready to step up your game and invest in your long-term well-being, head over to blokes.co/Jason Grubb and take the first step towards a healthier you. That's blokes.co/Jason Grubb and get 20% off your lab work. Ultimately, I can't wait to see through further blood tests if my numbers improve based on these supplements. It's a fun experiment, and I'm really excited to be working with these guys. I also found that I was actually extraordinarily thirsty. So on Tuesday night, I actually got up out of bed to fill a water bottle and just added a little apple cider vinegar, which is tradition for me. I always drink water with apple cider vinegar in it. And I think I drank an entire shaker bottle. I mean, a large shaker bottle of water. I was really thirsty. And I find that if I'm not throwing up when I'm sick, I am very thirsty. In fact, just thinking about it right now, I'm really thirsty. I've got some decaf coffee right here, which is not going to do the trick. But yesterday, in order to become hydrated and stay hydrated, I did take in 2 element packets throughout the day. So right here, I've got watermelon. It's one of my favorite flavors. It's so stinking good. But electrolytes are really important when you're sick. Magnesium, potassium, and sodium all have a place in your immune system health. I was just reading this online about electrolytes. This actually comes from the Element blog. It says it's rarely discussed, but it's true. Your immune system needs electrolytes. Here's a couple of points here. When your body detects a threat, the innate immune response shows up to squash it. If the threat persists, your adaptive immune system targets the pathogen with specialized defenses like T cells and antibodies. High sodium concentrations may have antimicrobial and anti-cancer effects, but more clinical research is needed. Potassium fuels immune system signaling mechanisms, and high intakes of this nutrient are anti-inflammatory. Magnesium deficiency increases inflammation, impairs cancer defense mechanisms, and increases susceptibility to age-related diseases. Electrolyte needs increase during infection, and proper management is key to promote better health outcomes. All that to say that the needs of your body on a very hard training day are very similar to the needs of your body when you're sick. It's really interesting that way. We create stressors in our body when we train, and our body is under tremendous stress when we're sick. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Element, and right now Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Jason Grubb. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Jason Grubb. The other thing that I've been really focusing on, except for the past 20 minutes right now, is resting. My body needs to rest. There is no reason for me to get crazy, to do some sort of marathon walk or try to overtrain or do any kind of training today. It's just not in the cards. I wish it was. As I was getting sick Tuesday night, I remember thinking, okay, I can take Wednesday off and I can train Thursday. It's not happening. Not at all. And that's really unfortunate. But it's okay. It's just part of it. I was actually sick like this 2 weeks before the CrossFit Games in 2021. I had to take a Friday and a Saturday and then a Sunday off because it was a travel day. And I was all stressed because I saw everyone else online just training like crazy for the games. And I was just afraid I was losing everything. But the best thing for my body right now, and as it was then, was just to rest, to relax, to get horizontal as much as possible, and to sleep as much as possible. What I found yesterday is that every time I got horizontal, I fell asleep. And that was my body just telling me that it's busy doing some other things right now. And that's actually what's going on right now in me currently. I'm sitting up, but I feel if I put my head on a pillow, I'm going to fall asleep. The last thing that I'm going to do, probably tonight, if I feel good enough, is I'm going to get out a mat and I'm going to do some mobility just to go through some ranges of motion. Maybe get into a squat hold, a couple of Spider-Man stretches, pigeon stretches, some cobra to downward dog. Not a lot, just to open up my body a little bit, because I feel like I can't even touch my toes right now, and I can almost put my hands flat on the ground. I feel from the lack of movement, all stiff. So yeah, it happens to all of us. We all get sick. We all go through this. But a couple of pointers that we can really pay attention to is really pay attention to getting protein, get as much of our macronutrient needs in while we're sick as we can, if our body will allow it. Pay attention to those micronutrients and stay hydrated the best that you can. That's it for me this week. Guys, your best days are ahead of you. As always, get bolder, not older. See you next week.